Welcome to the Dream Big Summit, creating a better life for yourself and the planet. And today I have an amazing, living exactly what you talk about person in front of me, Ariel Ford, best-selling author in the realms of soulmates, creating and manifesting your soulmate, teaching us the secrets of how to do it, and also how to keep your love once you have it. And Ariel Ford has a number of books in which we'll be talking about the manifesting of love of your soulmate. And I will ask her questions about how to do it, and she will give us tricks and techniques of how you can create your soulmate, and if you found them, how to keep him or her. So thank you very much, Ariel, for joining us. I know you've been doing a lot of amazing work before you were an author. Maybe you can catch us up a little bit about who you are, what you've done, and how you got there.
Oh, okay. So prior to becoming a love and relationship expert, which was never on my to-do list, I'll tell you in a second how that came to be. I spent really many years as a book publicist and a literary agent, and I got to work with all of my favorite authors. I worked with Deepak Chopra for over 12 years, starting with his very first book. I worked with Jack Canfield and Mark Victor Hansen on the Chicken Soup for the Soul series, Louise Hay, Marianne Williamson, Greg Braden, Neil Donald Walsh, Don Miguel Ruiz, Gary Zukav, Dean Ornish.
All our favorites.
Everybody, all of our favorite authors. I was very fortunate to work with very early in their careers. And what happened was one morning I woke up at the age of 43, and I was lying in my bed, and I had this epiphany, which essentially was, oh my God, I forgot to get married.
Oh no, I worked so hard.
And I started thinking about, like, how did that happen? I'm living in Beverly Hills. I have this huge successful business. I'm relatively attractive. How am I still single? And I realized that I had been spending all my time and energy building my career. And I started to look and see, well, how did I get to be so successful? And I realized I'd been using all these prayers and processes and rituals that are now known as the law of attraction. Back in those days, we simply called it manifesting.
Right.
And I was curious, could I manifest a soulmate as I had manifested everything else in my life, from the condo and the cars and the travel and the work and all of that? And I didn't know. I had no idea if it would work. But I sat down and I made a list of 9 pages of all the things I could do to co-create a soulmate. And they all worked. Within 6 months, I met my soulmate. The moment we met, we both knew. Everybody who was in the room with us knew. 3 weeks later, we got engaged. And a year later, we had 3 weddings. And that was 20 years ago.
Wow, so it's living proof you can create, manifest intentionally, because it was a decided moment in your life where you said, look, it's time.
Right. And so what happened was I became the poster child for single women over 40. And soon, lots and lots of them were asking me, well, how do I manifest a Brian? How do I do it? So I would share my process with them, and it would work. And, pretty soon the word got out that I had what I now call the soulmate secret. And HarperCollins heard about me and came to me and asked me to write a book.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. So I had not planned on writing this particular book, but they offered me a lot of money. I said, sure.
Wow.
And the book went on to be an international bestseller. It's in 21 languages in 40 countries.
Yes.
And that was 10 years ago. And it just organically grew into a new career. I closed down the literary agency and the book PR firm and started teaching both online and at live workshops around the world. I've taught on almost every continent now. And it's just so much fun because I have something that not only worked for me, it's worked for tens of thousands of men and women around the world. It's easy to do. It's fun to do. And if your deepest desire is to spend the rest of your life with the love of your life, I can show you how to do it.
Awesome. I'd love to have you show us. Can you show us the book cover? Pull.
So this is the book. It's called The Soulmate Secret.
Okay.
And it's available in bookstores everywhere. You can get it online. You can also get it as a Kindle or an audio.
Awesome.
And it's really fun. I think, I always say to people, if you really want to manifest the love of your life and you're willing to spend $12, everything you need to know is right here.
So you have step by step in the book, you have like how to do it, but you also have that, or you have tricks, a lot of freebies on your book, the soulmatesecret.com website, right?
Yes. Yeah. So the secret sauce for manifesting was not revealed in the movie The Secret, So in the movie The Secret, they talk a lot about visualizations.
Right.
And visualizations are all about having pretty pictures in your head. So, I want a new dark blue convertible BMW, and I see myself driving down the freeway with my hair blowing.
Right.
Well, that's very nice. But if your internal dialogue, if your emotional body says, I am not worthy of such a car, I can't afford it, it's never going to happen.
Yes.
It's never going to happen.
Exactly. It's the doubts that we carry subconsciously. So do you have that sauce that helps with the doubts?
Yeah. So what I do is I created a word. I call it a feelingization. And what a feelingization is it's a guided process where I take you from your head to your heart.
Exactly.
And we drop into our hearts.
Yes.
And we go into a state of heart coherence where we're experiencing present moment love and gratitude. And when we're in this state, and I can get you there, it's very easy, then we drop in our desires as if it's happening right now in this now moment.
Yes.
So we come from a place of love because that is where the divine lives. That is where true manifesting originates. It's not up here.
Right.
It's not on your treasure board. Well, those are nice and useful. It's right here in your own heart. Okay, so what I want your listeners to know, or your viewers, is that I give away dozens of these feelingizations for free.
Awesome.
Free.
And
yes.
All on your website.
If you go to soulmatesecret.com, on the top, there's a tab. It says free stuff. Click on free stuff at soulmatesecret.com and they're all right there for you.
Awesome. 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 Well, I love that because that's the humanitarian work that you're doing and helping to uplift all of humanity, as many as we can, to ignite the awareness that we are co-creators in this process called life. Yes. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And where does it hit us most home than in a relationship? I mean, most of us, and I would say 95% of humanity, wants to connect because we're mammals. We like to bond, connect, and love is our primal driver.
Yes,
so yes, absolutely. So tell us some of the tricks then. Walk us through maybe 3 steps of how to create your soulmate.
So the single most important step is having clarity. Okay, having clarity on what are the heart traits and qualities your soul is most calling for in a life partner. Now, this is not a shopping list. Oh, he's got to be 6'2", dark curly hair, green eyes, earn 6 figures, and be a golfer. You have no idea if any of those things are going to contribute to your long-term happiness. But your soul knows what you need. Do you need someone who is loving, kind, compassionate, funny, adventurous, a giver, And if that is what you're looking for, then it's important to create a soulmate wish list that has those attributes on it.
So you're talking qualities rather than...
than specifics. Because we're all going to, grow old. We're not going to look good forever. Life is going to change. So, asking for those specifics are not likely to contribute to your long-term happiness. So that's part one, having a wish list. Then I like to create a ritual to release the list to the universe.
Ah, beautiful.
Okay, because the art of manifestation is a paradox. You want to have clarity and you want to be intentional, and you also want to be in action on one side, and at the same time, you need to be completely surrendered and detached from the outcome. And people say, well, how do I be in action and be detached? Well, it's tricky. It's a tricky thing to learn how to say, dear God, Goddess, universe, whatever, join with me in co-creating the love of my life, who whatever he or she may be best. And I am perfectly willing to go online, to go on dates, to go to meetups, to meet people, to actively participate in what you're serving up to me.
Yes, and I think that's the major, most important sentence, and trusting that the guidance to where you suddenly feel called to go is coming from within. Yes.
Right.
Awesome.
You know, so it's not a passive process. You know, there's so many women out there who are living with, well, if it's meant to be for me to have love, then love will find me.
So
and that
many.
is just total bullshit, okay?
Yep.
Because if you needed a job, let's say you're a single mother with 4 children, you get fired, you need to go to work. Now, you're not sitting home at the couch thinking, oh, well, if it's meant to be for me to have work, work will knock on the door.
Exactly.
Of course not. You know, you're going to update your resume, you're going to go online, you're going to network, you're going to go to interviews, and you are going to be relentless. You are not going to give up because your desire for work and for money to feed your kids is so strong, you will find a job.
Right.
If you have that same passion and desire for love, it's the same kind of energy. You know, you have to put yourself out there. The FedEx guy from Amazon Prime is not coming with your soulmate in a box. It's not. It's not going to happen.
I'm just thinking, it might be the FedEx guy from Amazon that knocks on the door once I've stated my intention.
If you want to be a cougar, because most of those Amazon Prime guys are pretty young.
They've seen too many women, you think. But I absolutely agree. You have to have the action result, the action part, and the surrender.
Yeah.
And that makes it co-creative and not an ego-driven, I want this, and this is what I'm going to get. It's more like, dear God, look, this is what I want, and if you have a better idea, well, make it better.
Right. This or something better.
This or something better. Right. My list may be pretty good, but hey, you know, anytime you want to add something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you want to have the list, and then you want to release it. And there's lots of ways to release it. What I ended up doing was I took my list and I said a really deep prayer of gratitude over it. And then I burned it and I scattered the ashes into the ocean. But you can put it under your pillow, under your bed, on your altar, in a spiritual book. You can roll it up and put it in a helium balloon and release it to the heavens. Point is to let it go.
Surrender.
To say, yes, this is my deepest desire. And God, Goddess, I trust that what I've asked for is already mine.
Yes. And that's the next step that you suggested, is feel in your heart that the future is already here now.
Yes. Yeah.
So tell us about that.
Quantum science. This is what I call love before first sight.
Yes.
So we
cool. Love before first sight.
Before first sight, right. Because
I love that.
In the unified field, we know that there is no time. There's no past. There's no future. There is just this now moment. Also in the unified field, we know that we are already connected to everything and everybody. Therefore, in the unified field, you are already connected to your soulmate.
Yes.
And you can begin that relationship right now today. All you need to do is close your eyes, open your heart, throw out a golden cord of light to your soulmate, and start the conversation.
Yes.
In the relationship now. Now, why is this important? Because in the law of attraction, we have to believe that what we've asked for is ours. So not like it's missing, not like, oh, someday in the future,
right.
Soulmate. No, like right now in this moment, you and I, beloved, are connected. Now, I don't know your name. I don't know what day you're going to show up in the 3D world. But I do know that we can begin this connection right now, right here. Yep. And by doing that, when you do meet in the 3D world, they won't be a stranger. There will be this heart connection that you've already established.
Beautiful, beautiful. It's basically living in that future matrix, that parallel dimension in the now, and just aligning with it until we feel it, right?
Yes, awesome. It's the same with money. Just like if you have no money and you're focused on, I have no money, all you're going to keep having is no money. But if you connect to, the inner intergalactic bank, in which you have nothing but abundance. Like I have this $1 million bill that I keep on my desk that Mike Dooley gave me.
Yes.
I'm a millionaire. I got lots of these. I'm constantly connected to my inner abundance. And the universe can't not shower me with money because I already have so much. And I'm so grateful that I have so much and more is coming.
Right.
Which is a much better way to live than, oh my God, what am I do? I'm so broke.
Yeah. And what do we focus on when we say that sentence?
Right.
Right.
What's lacking.
Right. So it's really, we have to, and this is what I love about it, we don't have to be there, we just have to allow ourselves the luxury of a mini vacation to be in that future for 5 minutes. And
right.
that's
and the truth is we won't always be there because we're human and fear and doubt will come up. But when fear and doubt come up, there's a couple ways you can deal with it.
Okay, let's go to that. Let's go to that secret sauce.
You can have a pity party, right? And you can, oh, woe is me, and poor me, and what am I going to do? And you can stress and worry. Or you can say, cancel, cancel. Thank you for sharing. I'm not accepting that thought. And replace it with a new, better thought. And if you get totally stuck, if you're going down the drain and you're totally stuck in negativity, then what I suggest is that you set a timer for 3 minutes on your phone or an egg timer, set something for 3 minutes. And then for 3 minutes, say the most horrible, scary things you've ever said to yourself. Really allow yourself to go to the bottom of the pit of how scared you are, of all the negative thoughts you want to have. And there's no positive thinking allowed. You got to like, oh my God, Ariel, you're such a loser. You don't deserve to have everything. Money's never going to come. Love's never going to come. It's just going to be horrible. You're going to be the most miserable person you ever lived.
All right.
And I promise you that you can't do this for 3 minutes. Because,
not even.
Well, you can't, because your rational mind will kick in and you will start laughing because you know it's not true. But what you have done by allowing yourself to experience what was so for that moment is that you're letting the steam off the pressure cooker. You're letting all that negative thing go as opposed to trying to suppress it where it's only going to leak out anyway.
Right, and create more pressure.
Right, yeah. And then you can fill yourself up. You can go look in the mirror, blow yourself a kiss, say, oh my God, you're so awesome. You're so wonderful. You know, let's think about all the people who love us, like mom loves me, sister loves me, best friend loves me, the dog loves me, you know, my coworkers love me, and just fill yourself up and say, you know what, I'm an awesome, abundant, loving, kind, caring person, and I deserve everything good in life.
So that is beautiful. So you don't push against something which really creates more attraction. You allow it to be, listen to it, talk to it, and thereby give it almost a ventilation to steam out.
Yes. Yeah, because what happens when we try to deny what we're feeling? We get stomach aches, we get sore throats, we get sick, you know, we lash out at the wrong people. You know, that energy doesn't just go away. So it's up to us as smart, mature adults to let it go. Let it go.
Yeah. And I mean, there are numbers of techniques of how you can alchemize it, but the first one is definitely to notice it, they say just to point it out, give it words, give it names, allows us to differentiate ourselves from that feeling. So it becomes something we can look at rather than all over us.
Right. And don't make yourself wrong for doing it. And remember that even though negative thoughts have a low frequency and a low vibration, every positive thought is 10,000 times more powerful.
Yes.
So if you're having 10 negative thoughts, then at least make the time to have one positive thought.
Right. So that's one technique that we can do is every time we encounter negativity, we can also say, okay, what does it really want?
Right.
Huh?
Right. What does it need?
Yeah. What does it really want or need? And also then supplement it with, if we even say that to our beloved, you know, if we ever say anything bad to our child or beloved, say 10 more good things and it'll make up for everything. Cool. Okay, so number 1, make a list. Number 2, release it to the universe. Number 3, allow doubt and fear to come up, but give it some time limit. All right, and then the feelables, make it a felt.
Feelingizations, you want to do those every day.
And you say you have those feeling sensations for free, like guided imageries on your website.
Yes.
Awesome.
at the free stuff section at soulmatesecret.com.
So we will also link to that right up here at the bottom above. So we'll get anybody who clicks right here gets straight to your site and can download the free things.
Yes.
That way we make it easy for everybody, and they can right away experience audibly you guiding people,
Right.
and that makes the biggest difference. Rather than, and then they can also get the book and read all the details about the.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to do, and you don't have to do every single thing that I did. I just put everything that I did in the book, and then you take what has meaning for you, what makes the most sense. Like, I've had a couple of men read The Soulmate Secret, and the only thing either of them did was they both created a vision board. They created a visual representation of the love they wanted to create. And both of them were married within a year of doing this. And that was all they did. But for them, that's what worked, because men are very visual. They needed to see pictures. And what they were so smart about doing is, once they made this treasure map or vision board, they both made it the wallpaper on their smartphones and their laptops.
Everywhere
all day long. They were constantly confronted with their future.
Yeah. So that brings me to, I have two more questions for you before I want to close this part of the segment of our free interview with you. And thank you for taking your time with all your amazing engagements you have in life. One is that, and I remember hearing you in another interview mention that, which I want to point out, is practice makes perfect.
Well, actually, not quite, because I don't believe in perfection.
No, but I mean, practice really gets better results. I mean, people say, hey, why isn't it working? And I've done it once, or I've done it for a week, and my soulmate isn't here yet. When at age 44, you said, dear God, now I want a soulmate, you'd been practicing manifesting or co-creation for a while.
Yes, I learned how to manifest on September 12th, 1984. September 12th, 1984 was my first introduction to it. And I remember that because it changed my entire life. And I've been doing it ever since, and it totally works. And it does require practice, but you never need to be perfect. Because
I totally agree. I love that. I love that you mentioned that. Yeah. But, you know, for people who say, well, it's not working for me, it's like, well, make small goals. See them happen. Build your confidence. With time, it comes. You will figure out this recipe.
Right, exactly. And like I said, the secret sauce is the feeling component.
Yes.
Because just wishing, hoping, making lists, burning lists, that's all very nice. But if you can't feel in your heart, in present moment awareness, that something's possible for you, then you can't have it.
Right.
So you have to fake it till you make it.
Make it. Yes.
You have to, this is why extreme athletes and world-class athletes are so successful. They just don't call it manifesting. They call it going into the zone.
Right.
They see themselves making the hole-in-one on the golf course. They see themselves doing the winning shot at Wimbledon. They see themselves, leaping over the hurdles in the Olympics. They visualize and they feel it in their body. It's not just, oh, I hope I win.
Right.
They actually practice as much on the field as in their mind.
Exactly. And I think you mentioned it earlier, when seeing yourself inside that driver's seat, what the sports people have discovered is that the difference between external imagery and internal imagery, which is you either see yourself from the a viewer's point of view, or internally being inside of the experience, the latter one, the being inside, and which combines it with the feeling.
Well, that's why the feeling engagements are so important, because if you've never experienced, soul-stirring, heart-opening, mind-blowing love, then you could say, well, how could I imagine something I've never had?
Right.
But the truth is, we've all had moments of experiencing deep connected love, whether it's with a family member or a pet, where we've looked into somebody's eyes and we feel that connection. So when you go into your heart, and you're reliving that moment as if it were now, you're in this space of, oh, this is what love feels like, and I would like to have this feeling with a beloved. That's where the magic happens.
Right. And I also believe that somewhere in our lifetimes, this or another, or the future one, that feeling is there. And what we just need to do is reach out to that potential that we will have or already have experienced once before.
So many people think, well, I'll believe it when I see it.
Right.
You'll see it when you believe it.
Ditto.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, very powerful. Is there anything else? I would like to go and take this a step deeper also into how to maintaining love, how to be in love. And then the other book that you have is, what is it? The Ancient Art of Finding Perfect
Turn,
Love in Imperfect Relationships, the
turn your
Wabi
Wabi
Sabi.
Sabi Love, and also Turn Your Mate into Your Soulmate. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. These are two more books of yours.
Hmm.
Obviously, if people Google you or on Amazon or go to Amazon,
Right.
Ariel Ford, they will find all of your books
Yes.
or on your website.
Yes.
But I think also the other thing is, what do you have when you have a mate? What do we do then? How do we create better love? How do
Hmm.
we improve our love life with the imperfections that we have? That will be
Right.
the topic of our next talk.
Okay.
Cool. Awesome. So be sure, everybody, to click on the upper link to get the free guided meditations to take us into the feeling state of creating. And then also looking at all the books, order your books, get the step-by-steps. And I thank you, Ariel, for being here in part 1 of this
Thank you.
interview, for the free all access for everybody. And now I'm going to take you into the all access paid part of the interview of what to do to create the love that you want with the person you have. Thank you very much for being there.
Thank you.
Thank you.